what has your experience been so far by using the system? What have you noticed in your course?
So we've had it in about a year now. I would say probably to tell you all the benefits, we've had a rainy year. So that's been a little bit of a challenge in itself, not being able to actually use the water as much as I'd like to. But the past couple of months have been really good for us putting the water out. And so we're seeing the water quality overall has drastically changed. I mean, that changed pretty quickly. All of our ponds are connected and filled by our effluent pond. And that water quality is night and day difference. You know, it's pretty hot down here in Florida in the summertime, and algae blooms tend to take place pretty regularly in the summer. And this is the first summer I've gone through it, and I have not had one single major outbreak.
You know, you said something earlier, and it's the water that golf courses are supplied with. Most superintendents are in the mindset, like you said earlier, oh, this is what we have. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing we can do about it. With this technology, there is something we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you started, do you remember your DO rate?
Yes.
Number? What was it when you started?
3.
3.
Yeah, we were down around 3.
And what would you say it was this morning when you left?
I want to say we were about 21, 22.
Right.
You know?
So that's a 7-fold increase in the quality of dissolved oxygen in your water.
Correct.
Right.
Correct, which is drastic.
Right. It's almost stunning, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you, because when you talk to people in the industry and you tell them that can be achieved, they don't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
But what's nice with this system too, the regular monitoring proves what we're saying, and you can look
Well,
at
that's correct. You know, I mean, I think the thing we have to do is we're having to sell it to your membership, your club, and show them the value you're going to get out of it. And I think it's pretty easy. You know, I mean, everybody's kind of pretty knowledgeable about when it rains. They come outside their doors and they see everything's greened up. Man, it rained, everything greened up. Man, my flowers are blooming. Man, the garden's booming. And what you got to realize is most rainwater's got 8 to 10
parts per million
in
DO.
there. And so basically, lack of a better term, we're trying to produce rainwater the best we can.
Right. So with this ultrafine bubble system that you have installed, how's the reliability been, the performance of the system? Have you had any concerns or any issues?
No, we haven't had any major issues. Now we're on the forefront of kind of using this technology in the golf business. But I think it's like anything else, whether you're buying any type of turf equipment, what I'm looking for is service. You know, we're going to have problems. Anything mechanical, we're going to have problems with it. And so what I've told Ron in the beginning was, you know, we got to be able to have access to the service and to deal with these and keep this system up and going as much as possible. So
in that mindset, how's the service been for you? What's your experience been with the service so far?
It's been great. You know, it's a pretty intimate relationship, honestly, as far as just we're all pretty close. We all believe in it. We talk about it, and that's I like the relationship. I mean, that's important to me.
But they've taken care of any issues or situations you've had?
Anything. I mean, we really haven't had much of anything.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about cleaning out screens or really simple things that we can take care of ourselves. But what's great about the company is any changes that they find that's better, those changes happen at the current customers. You know, we get to have things upgraded pretty quickly.
Right. And tell me if I'm wrong or not, Alan, but this system utilizes just atmospheric air, and it draws out the elements that we are trying to work with. Oxygen, for example, ozone, for example. We're not actually using chemicals or anything of that nature. It's all basically natural organic.
No, and that's what I was referring to about being probably the most environmental friendly option we have right now. You know, we're pulling ambient air and putting it through a air set process that pulls the nitrogen out of the water and forms higher percentages of oxygen in that water that's then injected into the water. And that's the difference probably from some of the older technology, was you're putting ambient bubbles into the water, 21% oxygen, and we're up in the 90 to 95% range now.
Right, right. And you know, if you compare this to the old aeration systems for ponds where the bubbles were large and they tended to float up to the top and then they released into the atmosphere, so you lost a lot of your oxygen potential.
Correct.
This system, the bubbles don't rise to the top, they don't float. They actually stay in the water column or settle to the bottom, which has benefits as well, correct?
That's correct. I mean, the ultrafine bubbles, you know, they're non-buoyant. They stay in the water column, and there's a lot of benefits to that.
So you touched on earlier that, you know, when the company finds new technology or new things, they immediately involve you or at least expose you to it. How excited are you with this new pH control system they're trying to develop?
Well, I think it could be a big hit. Like I mentioned earlier, I just wasn't very fond of pumping the acids, and I never thought I was really getting the bang for the buck, you know, and from the financial aspect of it as well. I mean, I think we're going to see more consistent results from it at a better value.
Okay. So now, having the system in for a year, if I was to ask you, what's one of the main benefits that you have seen from the system, whether it's turf related or expense related or just water usage related?
Well, like I said, I've had it a year. I think we've got very high expectations for what we're going to see on the turf side of things, and I think we're seeing some of those things now. But the water quality in general, I mean, the data is right in front of you. It's on real-time data, and you can see that looking at your water supply. If you're holding ponds or your ponds on the golf course. I mean, we see that change pretty instantly, honestly, for us. And so we're really happy with that. But we have even higher expectations for it as we keep moving forward.
Dry spot, hand watering, wetting agents, has any of that increased or decreased, or what's your take on that with your experience at your club?
So, you know, greens are probably our most important thing. So I haven't really dove into major changes there yet as far as wetting agents, but on the rest of the golf course, I've completely cut it out, you know, and that was a line item we were spending anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 a year on, and I didn't put any of that out this year. So that's been a change, and I haven't seen any. I've only seen positive changes from that. So I'm happy where we are with using less wetting agents across the whole golf course.
Certainly. Less chemicals, less budget input.
Correct.
All that. Okay. Looking down the road, how do you see this system impacting your future agronomic programs? Oof. Or is it hard to tell?
I mean, I'm really thinking outside the box, but I'm hoping we're gonna benefit from it agronomically. You know, our staffing is going to be a problem in the future. It's a problem now. The equipment's getting more expensive, you know, so I think it's going to allow us opportunities to do less, or maybe do the same things but less often, you know. That's what I'm hoping for.